Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm going to be testing Mirror's Edge Catalyst on the GeForce GTX 950. If you want to see how it runs on the GeForce GTX 750 Ti, check the description below. I left a link to the video there. And for FPS monitoring, I'll be using CAM. If you want to learn how to use it, click on the top right corner of the video where the CAM logo is, or check the description below if you want to learn more. So Mirror's Edge Catalyst. When am I testing this again, you might ask? Well, I tried the pre-release version that was for Origin Access subscribers. This one, well, after that I got the day one patch or something like that. 500 megabytes, around that size, for a patch I had to download. And NVIDIA released new drivers for it, a game-ready driver. And I have to say that the game is different in comparison to what I tested last week. So now the character camera FOV has a label. You know how much, well, the value of the FOV. In this case, the maximum is 90 and the minimum is 60. So we keep it at 90, which is the one I like the most. Then resolution, we have, well, resolutions, 1080p, 900p, 720p, whatever you want. Now we have a resolution scale. So this is interesting, like Battlefield 4. If you put it in 2.0, this will be pretty much 4K. And if you use a lower number, you can do 720p, 900p, whatever you want. So you don't have to touch this. The menus will still be the same, but the rendering resolution of the game, it will be lower, just like in Doom. Then we have GPU memory restriction. This is, well, it won't use more than 2 GB of VRAM in my case. And it says may use more GPU memory than what is available and could compromise the stability of the game. So we'll keep it on. Then we have, as always, low, medium, high, ultra, and they added a new one, hyper, which is interesting. So I'll keep it on high, everything on high. So if you change textures or mesh quality, you'll have to restart the game in order for those two settings to apply. So I'll keep them on high for the rest of the gameplay. So we'll start with everything on high, and then we'll change resolutions and all that kind of stuff. And ambient occlusion will use SSAO. And, well, I don't like motion blur, so I'll turn it off. So let's jump into the game, shall we? Just for you to know, this part I'm trying right now is an indoor area. This is the worst performance I got in the game so far. Mostly when the guards find you. That's mostly the problem with performance here. There are a lot of reflections, a lot of all that kind of stuff, a lot of effects. Well, when the guards find you, they start shooting at you, the glass breaks everywhere. A lot of stuff going on at once, so that's a good stress test. That's the worst I found so far. If you have a CPU like mine, an i3, you might want to keep mesh quality on medium instead of high. But that's just a suggestion. So let me show you here. As you can see, when I get up here and I look down, it drops to 45, 46. And if I look in a straight line, it's pretty much the same. But this is pretty much the worst performing area of the game. On 900p it happens less, but it's partly due to the CPU. But the GPU is not enough for that, unfortunately. It seems that lowering mesh quality and restarting the game can fix the FPS a little. So keep that in mind. It runs better than the pre-release version I showed you. The same with well, runs better than the beta. It doesn't stutter for me anymore, which is nice. And it uses more than 4 GB of RAM, which is, well, expected. The PS4 runs this on 900p at 60 frames per second, and Xbox One 720p at 60 frames per second, just like Battlefield. I mean, every game that uses Frostbite 4, I think the only exception is Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2. But you get my point. It's just to compare, if you want to compare. 900p PS4, 720p Xbox One, both at 60 frames per second. Just check the Digital Foundry once they do a video, so you can compare the frame rate with mine if you so desire. But so far so good. The game is totally playable, as you can see. So this is the worst case scenario, the stress test. Once I get to the part I have to go. But outside is way better. Outside you can lower the lighting quality inside buildings like this you can lower reflections and effects quality if you want a better frame rate. Textures pop in quite a lot, I don't know why. Maybe because it's an open world game, but it's kind of drastic sometimes. They just pop in there and it's very noticeable. And I'm kind of disappointed with the texture quality, as you can see here. Kind of disappointed, but it's an open world game, so I can forgive them for that. But yeah, so far this runs way better than, well, not that much better, but it's more stable, which I appreciate a lot. It's easier on the CPU this time. It doesn't stress the CPU that much, so that's interesting. We can use a lower resolution without compromising the frame rate that much. I mean, you will be above 60 mostly on 900p, so that's good. And if you don't care about the frame rate, don't care about playing at 30 frames per second, just, I mean, use ultra or hyper settings and that's it. You can play pretty much 1080p, 30 frames per second, and the game will look the prettiest it can, if that's what you're looking for. So you can choose, which is great. It's good to have a choice. Okay, so we're close to the area I was talking about. After that I will do the same thing, but this time on 900p, then 720p, and that will be it for the video. Outside it runs better, trust me. But if you don't like the performance outside, which I said is better, just lower lighting quality to medium, and that should do. Let me see if I can skip here. Cinematics are not rendered in real time, they are videos, so sometimes they lag because they are streaming stuff in the background. As you can see right now, it's lagging. That's because it's streaming stuff in the background, it's loading the new assets. So it should be skipped in a couple seconds. Come on, waiting for you. There we go. And this is when shit hits the fan. This should be the worst part performance-wise. All gods destroying stuff. Fall out, please, fall. As you can see now, we're dropping into the low 40s. Let's break through this glass. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. I run over here. I kick him. In the previous video I made, this dropped as low as 30 frames per second, so it's drastically improved in comparison to the pre-release version I tried, so that's good news. The patch and the drivers helped a lot. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on here. And once we get outside, whoa, look at that. A lot of stuff. Shit. Okay. So now I'm outside. As you can see, we're fine. It's totally playable, but remember I'm recording, so that's a 3 to 5 FPS boost without recording. As I show you, 900p, everything on high settings. No motion blur. Let's go. And as you can see, we're about 60 frames per second. We're at 77, over 70 frames per second. Let's see what happens inside the building. But inside the building usually runs worse than even daytime. So keep that in mind while playing this. And remember, again, I'm recording. 3 to 5 FPS boost without recording. Alright. We keep going here. Come on, come on. Yeah, I'm trying to go as quick as possible. But as you can see, we're not dipping below 60 just yet. Let's hope it stays that way. Yeah, I hope so. Even Noah hopes so. So that's good. It must be a good thing. We jump. And let's see, this is the part when it starts dropping the frame rate. There we go. Let's see, down here. Here we were at 45 FPS on 1080p. Same settings. Now we are around 60, which is nice. Come on, let's keep going. Come on, Faith. There we are. What I'm not sure about in the consoles is which quality settings they are using. I'm using high settings here. So once Digital Foundry makes a video and says, well, what's the quality settings they're using in comparison to the PC, you can compare if they are using medium settings, high settings, or whatever they are using, and compare it with my performance here. If you are, I don't know, thinking about getting a PC or console, so you can make up your mind. I'm just helping. I'm not against consoles, of course. I'm just helping you choose between two platforms, that's all. I wish I had a PS4 and that thing that Digital Foundry has to monitor frame rate on consoles. That would be awesome. But unfortunately, I cannot make an app like Digital Foundry has, so you have to stick to PC here.
I found a way into agricultural.
Come on, keep going, Faith.
I think a recruiter is.
What? We should abort.
Okay, we jump over here.
I'm finishing this.
Perfect.
It's not like I can stop you anyway. Icarus, keep us
Almost
updated on
there.
changes outside. Faith, you want to find the office?
Oh yeah, so far this game, I like it. I was expecting more from it, but I like it. This is pretty much Mirror's Edge, the first one. I mean the missions, the linear missions of the first one, but well, with an open world in the middle. The open world seems kind of empty. I think it wasn't a necessary change, in my opinion. I know how the society in this game works, that they are all slaves and blah 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 blah, because that's why the streets are empty, but I don't know, it just feels boring to me to play an open world like that. I mean, everything is working fine, blah blah blah, but I was expecting more from the open world, honestly. And the story isn't that good. It's not bad, but I don't know, the characters are not likable. Pretty much, yeah, it's pretty much like the first Mirror's Edge, but with better combat, more fluid mechanics about running and all that kind of stuff, more skills, but with an open world that, in my opinion, wasn't necessary. That's pretty much what I think about it. I really liked the first one. I thought it was very short. Well, this one seems to be longer than that one, so I will be happy with it. I might play it on a stream, because I can pause the game. Oh yeah, so far I like this game. Not bad at all. This is a reboot. It's like a before the first game, but the first game has nothing to do with this, so it was pretty weird at the beginning, but now it's clear that this is a reboot. A prequel, a reboot. And let me see if I can skip this. As I told you, they have some problems on the cinematics because they are streaming data in the background. This isn't in real time, this is a video. Okay, this is when shit hits the fan, as you know. I skip this, and let's see what happens. Okay, here we drop to 54, 51, 56. Yeah, it's not as bad as 1080p as expected. Alright, let's keep going. Bye bye. Yeah, it's not as bad. Here is way more playable, honestly. Break the glass, thank you a lot. Yeah, this is way more fluid. So that's good news. But as you can see, in here we're dropping below 60, but once we head outside, what happens? Let's see. Well, outside we're above 60. Magic. And enemies are chasing me, a lot of enemies. And there we go. And now 68, 74. There we go, 720p, high settings. I might use higher settings later, we'll see. Depends on how it runs. Okay, so high settings. Here we are back in the mission. And now we have 90 frames per second, almost 100. And the GPU usage is low, as you can see is 80%. It's not that low, but I mean, if you had a better CPU, as you can see the CPU is getting stressed a lot, you will get a higher frame rate. You might be able to reach 100 frames per second here. But it's not that bad actually, it's way better than before. Before means pre-release, before day one patch, before beta driver, if you know what I mean. Yeah, here's perfect. Alright, let's skip this. Yeah, 720p is a dream. Okay. Yeah, perfect. It seems that 900p is the sweet spot. Sweet spot 900p high settings. 720p high settings is too high of a frame rate. Let's see once I get there. Come on, let's go up. Alright, so now that we are here, it drops to around 80 frames per second. So let's try using higher settings. Let's try lighting on ultra, reflections on ultra, effects on ultra, because why not? I'm not trying hyper, it must be way more demanding. So let's keep mesh quality on high and textures on high, so I don't have to restart the game. And let's see how it performs. Okay, so now we have, now we have over 60 frames per second, so we're still above that. So this seems to be the sweet spot. Ultra settings, high textures, high mesh quality. I mean, for 720p of course, I'm not talking about the game itself. I prefer 900p over 720p any day. So as I was saying, you can do 720p, ultra settings, high textures, high mesh quality, and then the rest on ultra. And you can use horizon based ambient occlusion, which is way better than screen space ambient occlusion. But I expect this to drop to drop frames once we get into the more action-packed area. That's why I left it at 70 frames per second. So we have some room to spare in case the performance starts to, well, decrease. Yeah, when I'm seeing nothing, it's like 100 frames per second, which is ridiculous. Oh yeah, the game is running pretty nice, I have to say.
I found a way into agricultural, and I think Gabriel Kruger is...
But I expected more from it. That's what most reviewers are saying anyway.
I'm finishing this.
It's not a game for everyone. If you like the first Mirror's Edge, get this game. If you didn't like Mirror's Edge, the first one, don't even... I mean, I don't think this one will change your mind about Mirror's Edge. If you don't like the first one, don't even try this one. I'm honestly telling you, it's pretty much the same thing, but with an open world in the middle, which is not very... well, it's not that awesome of an open world. It's kinda empty. I know about the, as I said when I was testing 900p, because of the society in this game, blah blah blah, they're all slaves. I don't care, it's a game. Open worlds should have stuff to do in them, more stuff to do in them. Not too much stuff, just enough. And this feels empty, which is unfortunate. Okay, almost there. Come on. Yeah, this is the 6th time I'm doing this part, this mission. I've been doing a lot of testing with this, with and without drivers. And well, I kinda got used to this level. But texture popping is kinda annoying once you see it. Once you notice it, you will just, I don't know, see it everywhere. You cannot just unsee it, unfortunately. If you're like me, of course. Alright. There we go. Oh yeah, I'm enjoying this game so far.
This area is different.
More Mirror's Edge. I don't have a problem with that. But it took him 8 years to develop that. 8 effing years. Okay, let me see if I can skip this. As you can remember, streaming stuff in the background makes the cutscene lag. But once it loads, it'll just run fine. So don't worry. Okay, worst case scenario. Let's see how it runs. Blah blah blah, skip this. And we are at over 60, so mission accomplished. For now it didn't drop below 60, so perfect. Yeah, get to the wall. Get the fuck out. Oh. Break the glass. Thank you. Huh, gotcha. Yeah, it's not dropping below 60, so that's good news. You can do ultra. You might be able to do hyper settings too. Like keep textures on high and mesh quality on high. Yeah, it drops as low as 63 frames per second, so that's good news. 720p is just fine. Okay guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.